8 days out characterize your battle competition for starter, snaps, etc.?
Well, we hope that they'll battle every day. Right now, I think all 4 of them will play. And, Rico, Daddle, and A.J. Turner, and Tyson Williams are probably the top 3, and then Mon Dixon could play.
Yeah. How much emphasis do you put on who takes the first, who lines up the first snap of the game? Do you consider that something that they earn and a reward, so it's a big deal, or you don't care?
It'll definitely be a big reward, but obviously they'll all play, especially those top 3. So you want to get them ready every practice, ball security, pass protection. It's more than just running the football.
In a sort of theoretical world where everybody is kind of even, is there a snap breakdown that works, a 60-40 or a 60-30-10, or I don't know?
What you'd like to do is that starter would go 2 series, get that number 2 guy that 3rd series, and then from there on you kind of go with the hot hand. I'm not a guy that believes in, the running back gets a long run and you take him out. Yeah. I think if he makes a long run and he's still fresh, just keep him in there. He's reading the defense and let him go.
So you kind of feel like they're the guys who get better, who kind of get in the rhythm, get a little lathered up. There's something to that.
There's definitely you talk to all of the great backs, they like it when they are in a rhythm and they get a feel for what the defense is doing and the blocking schemes.
Bobby, how do you expect to use A.J.? Will he be used in a lot of different ways because of his speed versatility?
Well, he'll definitely be on all our special teams. He's a guy that one of our fastest guys on our team and practices so hard, so he'll definitely be on kickoff team, he'll be on kickoff return, he'll be on punt team, covering punts, and obviously we need to get the ball to him as much as we can. On the edge and as much as we can in the backfield.
Is he kind of a 3rd down back, or is that inaccurate?
I don't know if you call him a 3rd down back. I just say he's a guy that, as a staff, you sit down and you say you need to get the ball in his hands.
How much have you noticed the revitalization of this offensive line under?
I think it's what Coach Wolf has done and what the offseason program has done has brought some strength to the offensive line. And obviously they're a year older, but I think they're a lot better to run behind. There's more movement. There's more focus on the double teams maybe than before.
AJ noticed a lot of, they're getting the second level more. How imperative is that going up against such a vaunted defensive line like NC State?
Well, with NC State, they're so good up front, you better make sure you take care of those guys first. Then again, their linebackers are very good as well. So you got to, pick your poison. You're going to stay on the double team and get that linebacker off, or you're going to have to make him miss yourself.
When will you pick a starter, and when will you tell the players?
We haven't really had a time frame for it, but I would hope that they'd compete every single day in and out the meeting room and on the field.
Bobby, what's the biggest difference between being Coach Bentley and Jake's dad?
It was probably harder last year, knowing that he was lining up and probably wasn't ready. But this year it's a little bit different for me because I'm able to focus on the running backs even more. I feel more comfortable with a year under my belt as a running backs coach here at South Carolina and in the SEC. So I think I've done a better job being father and being a coach with it. But it's tough. It obviously is tough. He's your son. No doubt about it.
How do you separate those 2 roles? How often do you and Jake talk during practice and after practice?
During practice, I don't really say much. During the game, I'm probably more of his cheerleader than anything. During practice, I really don't say much to him. Before practice, I do. I want to make sure I kind of know what he's thinking on some plays. I'm trying to ask him. This sort of help me with the running backs, too, so we'll know where our read is as far as the progression. But it's fun to be around Jake at this time. A lot of guys don't get to have their kids around in college football like my son Schuler. I'm dealing with him by a text message how he's doing. And with Jake, I'm right here with him. So it's a blessing.
Does he come over to the house, or is he pretty much on campus a lot?
He's on campus more, but he does come over with the guys and gets to see Paulette and the twins. But he's, even though we're close, he's still on campus, so we probably don't get to see him. I get to see him every day, but Paulette and the twins don't get to see him as probably much they want to see him.
Where is Jake right now in terms of mental and confidence? I guess compared to last year, how would you describe his approach and his mental aspect?
That's a good question. I think Jake's a lot more mature within the offense. Jake's kind of always been a guy that's probably more mature than his age group, but probably because his athleticism made him, he always played up. But I think him being a year older in the system, and especially the way Coach Roper coaches, I mean, he has to know all the protections. Has to know all the blocking schemes to make sure he gets all the checks. So Coach Roper puts a lot on him. So he's got to be mature. He wouldn't be able to handle it.